everyone, this is Garrett, and this is Painkiller, and we are about to do Chapter 5, Level 3, the old Monastery. But before we do that, we're actually gonna change tarot cards, because this one, to unlock it, we need to keep our HP above 50, and I'm actually gonna remove the 50 soul demon mode one and replace it with base health capacity to 150, just to be safe, because I don't want to accidentally take a little bit too much damage and end up failing this tarot card. So we are going to start with a little bit more health than usual. Now, arguably, you could probably better take the used tarot cards twice. I think it's called Forgiveness for this level, just so you have the iron will stuff so you don't take any damage, but I kind of like it like this. Let's just start like this, grab a bunch of ammo, and there's a whole bunch of familiar foes which have learned a couple new tricks. They have torches now, and they can actually use those torches to blow fire, but more importantly, they can throw these little bombs at you, and these bombs are actually quite annoying. As you can see, I took a little bit of damage there from one of those bombs that they threw. If they fail to hit you, then the bomb will just lay on the floor for a while and then explode after a little bit, or if you run into it yourself. And all in all, it's just really annoying. It does a little bit more damage than you want, obviously, because right now we are, well, I'm pretty concerned about my health this entire level long. And I'd rather just be safe the entire time. I'm going to grab that double damage, or however many damage, and grab the armor over here as well, which is going to spawn a whole bunch of these dudes. These guys have learned some new tricks as well. They have a slightly different weapon. Some of them just try to melee you, others actually have this weird ranged attack, which I'm not really 100% sure how it works, but for some reason, it always manages to hit me, and I can never really see it coming at all. So I'm not really sure how it works, but either way, just take care of those guys as quickly as possible. These guys are annoying, but they can at least you can see their projectiles, whereas with the other ones, it's just always a mystery what actually happens to you when they start doing stuff, so I'm always a little bit terrified during this level, to be perfectly honest. There is also quite a lot of enemies. These guys, the witches, also start screaming at you rather than just mindlessly walk around and try to punch you, which is why the screen goes dark every now and then. But fortunately, that is pretty much entirely pointless, so it's not really much to worry about at all. Now, there is actually a new mechanic in this level. Even the second to last level in the game, they're still adding new mechanics. In this level, you need to collect several keys to open up the next entrance, and we can actually go to several places. Well, that one's actually closed, so right now we are actually just forced to go in this direction. I thought we had a choice, but apparently we don't. But this thing opens up and opens up to nothing. There's actually just a gravestone here with some text on it. You can read the text if you want. I'm not going to read it, but it is basically the same text that is also written on some other gravestone, so just make of that what you will. And somewhere over here, there is this thing. This is the key I was talking about. Picking that up actually opens up a doorway all the way to that monastery over there. And it looks like we're not going to be fancy today. Nope. I'm not going to waste any more bullets on that. But we are actually going to go over here, grab this 100 health power-up, and quickly scoot off, because that actually spawns a fair amount of enemies that spawn. Now that I'll try to go over here and try to hurt me. And I don't like being hurt. I like my 250 health, and I just lost 40 of it. So that's rather unfortunate, and a good lesson on how you don't want to get hit by these guys' projectile attacks, because it can hurt a lot, and also a good lesson on how you don't want to be set on fire, because being set on fire, actually not as fun as it sounds. But let's move in this general direction to stop this music, because it's a little bit loud right now, and I can't even hear myself speak, so I might have been speaking gibberish the entire time, and I wouldn't even have known it. So I'm just going to assume that's not the case, kill these guys, which are sort of wobbling around this monastery over here. And before I actually continue in this general direction, I'm actually going to go back, because there is a well, and I want to jump into the well. And more specifically, I want to jump into the well in this direction, because there's a holy item, which is coincidentally also a secret area. And there's also an armor in there, which armor is, of course, always nice to have. And now we have a bunch of space to use our rocket launcher to kill a whole bunch of these guys, get a lot of souls, and look at this rock fly away as we touch it, because that's just how strong we are. Whole bunch of birds still left in there. They're not going to do anything. They're just going to hang around until we try shooting them, which I always love to do because it makes them all fly at the same time and it looks pretty cool. And there's a holy item over there, but there's also a holy item over there. And the only real way I know of getting it is by jumping. from up here. This was actually, I think this was basically the secret that made me decide to do a playthrough where I get all the secrets, just because when I first saw a video of this, like a long time ago, I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. Like, how would you find this? But you can't actually see the holy item up there from pretty much any other area, but from just seeing a video, it just seemed like he was just jumping randomly down this place just to get this holy item, which was barely visible at all. But we get it. And there you go. There was my motivation right there to do this entire playthrough. Just for that one single secret, which looked a little bit silly. But it ended up being really fun to do, so all in all, I'm going to thank that secret for pointing me in the right path to happiness. But we're going to go into this monastery because there's a holy item up there. And more importantly, there's a key up there so we can actually continue with the level. We don't really have a bunch of this ammo, but I'm going to use some of it anyway because there's a lot of people sort of clumped up here. You don't really want to take all this damage that I've been taking here. Actually, that wasn't too bad, all in all. But there's a lot of enemies here, and it's very easy to take a lot of damage. And we're actually a little bit low on pretty much all of our ammo right now, but fortunately, there should be some ammo upstairs here as well. So watch out for that bomb over there. And all these bombs here. There's just a lot of guys here, which you can all throw bombs, and it can just become a really big mess. So preferably, make it not turn into a mess and pick up all that ammo over there because it's actually really useful. And watch out for that. In fact, I'm going to go back because I don't want my health to be under 50 at any point in time. Because I want that tarot card, even though it's well, arguably it's one of the worst in the game, but it's one of those arguably things. I think Confusion probably is the worst one in the game, but I don't really like the one you get for this one level either. But kill these guys. I think there's about 4 here, which is good because that sends our souls to 64, which is a nice amount. And grab the key. Now there's 2 things you can do here to escape from this place. The first thing you can do is go down here through these really awkward staircases, which are kind of hard to navigate, and you can blow this up. And I don't like doing that because it scares me and explosions hurt a lot, and I don't really care about the money all that much. And more importantly, there's a secret area up here, and I believe we can just go through the window here and grab it, which basically sends us to the exact same location as it would if we had blown up the things over here. It would be behind that door. And I think we actually do need the explosions to get in there. There we go. So that's also one way you can blow that up if you really, really want to blow it up. But all in all, I wouldn't even risk it, to be perfectly honest, because you never know if one of those barrels just randomly decides to go outside due to physics and just destroy your life. But picking up the key that was in there, we can go up this staircase once more for a second time and go through the doorway, which is now opened. And here we are inside the monastery, where there's a whole bunch of more people waiting for us, trying to hurt us with their guns. They don't really have guns. I guess I'm more the one with the guns, but we have demon mode, and we're just going to take care of business. I'd rather not have gotten demon mode there, I suppose, but what are you going to do? There's plenty of enemies here, and I'm sure we can get some use out of it at least. I do want to go here first. This is where a lot of enemies actually spawn, but more importantly, it's where a lot of armor power-ups are, and I like that armor power-up right there. When I say a lot of armor power-ups, it's really only one, but it's a pretty good one, so it's definitely worth going for, I would say. Also, the compass at the top of the screen pretty much always points to like one of the keys that we're gonna have to pick up, so at least that is good to follow. It points to either a key or an enemy that's near, like closer by, but if there are no enemies close by, it will just always point to the key we need to collect, which is in this general direction, question mark. I believe it's over here, but I'm not very good at navigating this particular level. It's always a bit of a mess for me, but in the end, we'll get there. Just make sure you actually kill everything. Sometimes a few enemies spawn in the same place, and it makes you want to wait for a little bit just to be safe. Because otherwise, it's going to be an enemy behind you, and you'll take some unnecessary damage, and then boom, your health is under 50, and you're going to have to restart from a save point because you lost the ability to get a horrible tarot card. So, moving on. There's also a bunch of enemies over there, and you can probably just take them down like this. Kind of stares at the stake that was just shot right next to him and then gets destroyed by the one that followed after. And grab the key, which is over there. Again, watch out for both their bombs and also the barrels, which are over here. That was their range attack. Finally, we got to see it. I hope it was at least visible in the video because it was the very, very short animation. Unfortunately, not very good to see what happens at all, but it's basically just a little lightning strike in case that wasn't entirely visible on the video. And picking up that key is part 1 of 2 to getting to the next area. Part 2 is up here, where there's the enemies that we were previously shooting at, but also another key. And I think this is the one I have to go to. Yeah, this is the window which leads to this rooftop and has the last holy item of this level. And now we just need to either go back again through this window, which is always a little bit finicky, or we just jump down. I think I'm just going to jump down because this is not really working out. So I think this should be safe. Theoretically, I shouldn't die doing this. And apparently we didn't even take any damage. So all in all, that went okay, but now there's like, where do I actually go? There we go. I think this is good. I think this should lead to where I want to be, to some ammo over there, which I think we can't actually get because I think there's actually an invisible wall like in between here and there, which is kind of annoying. But you can pick that up previously, I suppose, but I don't really need it. We should be fine without picking that up. And having picked up all those keys, this thing starts glowing, and you can shoot it, which opens up this thing. I'm guessing it's supposed to look like it falls on top of this, but it really doesn't. Like a lot of the time, it just sort of falls somewhere, and then it just opens up. But having opened that up, this is kind of a scary place. Again, you want to blow up these barrels with an explosive of your own, because if you blow it up with an explosive, generally speaking, it'll all blow up at the same time, and you won't have to worry about it as much. But it can be a little bit terrifying to have a whole bunch of explosive go off at once. But I would recommend doing it yourself because these guys' bombs can blow up the barrels as well. And that is just not nice at all. You do not want the unpredictability of them just randomly blowing it up. It is too scary for me. And I'm just going to grab all this stuff over here. I want to have as much ammo as possible pretty much at all times. And I think there's still an enemy alive over here. Yeah. I always forget about that one because he's kind of in an awkward spot and doesn't really damage you either. He's just sort of there. He's just there to see what's going on. And then we kill him anyway because he's in weird robes. But we pick up the key, which opens up the door we came from, but also spawns some more stuff to kill. And with some more stuff, I think it's literally just like one enemy. Yeah, that didn't do a whole lot. But it also spawns an enemy a little bit further back. We're actually going to have to backtrack back to where we came from. I think this is the right direction to go in. But again, I'm not very good at navigating this place, but I should be going in the right direction right now. And please tell me this thing is not in the way of progressing right now, because that would be silly. There we go. Man, that was an awkward location for that thing. But yeah, picking up that key opens up this door over here. Unfortunately, there's one enemy in front of that doorway, just so you kind of see where you have to go. Go down another awkward staircase, which is kind of hard to navigate down. And pick up all this stuff, because it's ammo. Ammo is always good. This place is pretty easy. You can use your tarot cards here if you want, because there are a fair amount of enemies, but every one of these coffins contains one of these witches over here. So if you break one of these coffins, it actually spawns the witch immediately, but they will also just come out by themselves, so you don't really need to worry about it too much. Just make sure you don't accidentally take too much damage. That's the only thing you have to worry about in this level. Not to be under 50 health at any point in time, otherwise you're going to miss out on those wonderful tarot cards, and you want to catch them all, of course, so obviously don't take damage. Go downstairs, some more awkward staircases. This rock is stupid. This rock, it's, I think, supposed to, like, fall down and kill the enemies downstairs, but usually if you jump on top of it, you'll just take a lot of damage. There we go. I've managed to touch that thing, and I just took, like, 200 damage in one hit there, but sometimes, very rarely, it actually rolls all the way down and probably hurts those guys, but more than likely it just sort of fumbles and either tries to kill you or just nothing at all. It's just it's a stupid rock. I hate that rock. Go away, rock. We don't want you here. What we're going to worry about is continuing onwards to this death trap of a level. It has a lot of pits right here. If you fall down, you're just instantly dead, and that's rather unfortunate. Don't want that to happen. Instead, we're just going to kill stuff and be happy that we're not the ones being killed. Running a little bit low on ammo for that gun, so I'm just going to switch to the shurikens. But we are nearing the end right now, so all in all, we don't have too much to worry about. I'm tempted to just start using my tarot cards here, because why not? But I think we should be fine. Is that it? Yeah. Because the exit is right over here. I'm going to use it, because why not? Die! This is total overkill for a single enemy. Okay, there were 2 that time, but still. Why not, right? If you can use tarot cards, then always use them, because it's fun. And apparently we missed 5 enemies, and I have genuinely no idea where that could be, but what are you gonna do? We got all secrets, we got all holy items, and we kept our HP above 50. And we unlocked Soul Redeemer. Souls provide more health, which I don't really see the point of. Like, originally I was like, well, maybe in Trauma this would be good, but then I remembered in Trauma you don't actually get souls. I guess it could be good for the previous level because there are some jumps you need to take which can damage you a lot. But at the same time, like, if you do it right, you don't really take any damage at all. So, and you can also just take the golden card, which so you won't take any damage at all, and then it actually just becomes a lot easier anyway. So I don't really see the point of it, but I'm sure there's someone out there who really enjoys this card. But that was that. And that was this video. So I hope you enjoyed it so far. The next time we play, we are going to do Chapter 5, Level 4, Hell. And we're going to have to kill Lucifer. And I hope you guys are looking forward to that. But that'll be next time. So I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.